Good afternoon, everybody. It is 1 o'clock p.m. on this Wednesday, the 17th of October, and we have quite the session, I guess. I don't know if session's the right word for it, but we have some pretty wild events going on. I'm confused what's going on here. There we go. Okay. All right. We've had some big moves. We've seen basic attention token that has shot up, like it was up almost over 15% at the Bitcoin pair. That's wild. ZRX caught a big bid last night going into today. ZEC is even up. Cardano is up. Qtum has gone up. Nano is up. A lot of these coins that we talk about and look at and trade have caught big bids. XLM is actually finally moving as well. But we are in the afternoon, and I think, I generally, I always like to peel off some profit in the afternoon because that's typically where you see prices kind of drift a little bit to the downside. And so I always like to peel a little off in the afternoon and then get back in. So that's just how I view it. It's pretty normal. I mean, if we look at these on the short term, like Cardano, I'd be cool if it came back all the way down to a 79.10 there. Get back in there, or getting long again at a break here. That's fine. But what I really want to look at is basic attention token. Now, basic attention token, we've been talking about this guy for a couple weeks. In fact, all of them. The Coinbase 5, what are they? Again, they are Cardano, basic attention token, Stellar Lumens, Zcash, and OX. That is ADA, BAT, XLM, ZEC, and ZRX. Those ones are the ones that are catching a big bid right now. Last week I talked about Stellar Lumens, how that may be the next one on the agenda for going higher. But it probably is going to be basic attention token. There's been rumors out about basic attention token being the next one for a while. I think I remember Coinbase in a I think it was like it was I don't remember when it was. It wasn't very long ago, but basic attention token was mentioned as one of the first two ERC20 coins that Bitcoin was going to, that Coinbase was looking at adding. It was OX and then basic attention token. And I'm actually using the basic attention tokens browser right now, the Brave browser, which is, it's really, really fast. It blocks all ads. And what's interesting about it, so if you see right here up top, it says publisher is enabled for payments. Basically, I have, you get, in order to reward publishers and reward, people who do advertising and all that jazz, my basic attention token can go to the sites or the people that I want to based on how much use and attention I'm giving on that site. So I'm not explaining it very well, and I'll eventually do a half of a session just on basic attention token. But this one's obviously caught a lot of volume lately, and it's a good one to keep an eye on. I mean, hopefully people have been hanging on to these. The only one that's not really moving much is Zcash. And just one second. I always like to close my office door. So basic attention token, peeling off a little bit here, which is fine. Ooh. That was my alert on Coinigy telling me that basic attention token had dropped below a level I was looking at for an entry, which I think I'm going to actually... Well, I'll watch that. Maybe I'll put a buy stop at 32.26. But Binance is acting kind of weird. I don't know if anybody else has been trading today, but there's been some crazy, awesome moves. This is, if you've never used Coinigy before, I think they have a trial. I love it. I'm using it more and more and more and more and more. It's pretty sweet. The only thing that kind of stinks is that, like, I have orders on Binance sitting there right now, and it doesn't pull them up, which is the one bad thing. So that's one thing that kind of stinks. All right, okay, that is pulled up. Basic attention token. 32, 30, we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep an eye on it. Because I've got limits in on all above these zones, but that's all right. Okay. One that may have been a little bit of a shock to everybody is Qtum. And Qtum, or Quantum, as it's pronounced, has a deal with Amazon. And is the stream fuzzy, or is it just me? I think it was just me. Yep. The crypto markets before work. Yeah. Hey, brother Tim, how you doing? All right. So Qtum has a big kind of a deal going for it. It's Chinese AWS. They are working together now. So Amazon's China AWS is working with Quantum for it's called BAAS, Blockchain as a Service. So that's for developers and such. That's a big enough deal to drive anything higher. And the thing is if you're afraid of entering something that's gone up 10% here, I mean, let's just put it into context. That's where Quantum is sitting. Okay, it is sitting at, well, it's inside the yearly lows. Okay, there's not much room for this to go lower compared to going higher. So Qtum all by itself is a just on the FOMO news of the Amazon deal. That's a big deal. I'm gonna put a signal out for this. All right. Qtum had a nice drive. If we look at kind of the big, like Bitcoin, sitting in this channel still, not doing a lot of movement, but staying pretty steady. Ethereum, same story. It's in a linear regression channel, and it's staying inside this channel so far. So you could view this as either a bear flag, or you could view this as this is a bull flag. Like this section right here could be a bull flag. That depends on I know I harp on DGD. The volume of that coin is very high, but given its scarcity and its single use case for a specific reason, it's been a very genuine. Yeah. If the feed is funny, click the gear near the full screen button and click. Oh okay. Yeah, DGD's been been a good one. Yeah, you're right. Haven't really talked about that one much, but that is like something I like to put some, like if it looks like we're going to be a little top heavy and might have a little bit of a dip, I like to park some into DGD. It's a pretty safe one. I like it. Oh, by the way, like related, unrelated is we do have important economic data coming out today. Right now, FO or just a little bit ago, one of the FOMC members, Brainerd, was speaking, and then at 2:00 we're getting the FOMC meeting minutes, which is going to give us a little bit of a heads up about, not just the interest rate hikes, but how are they feeling about them. Okay, that's good. That's going to be something to pay attention to for any market. All right. Coming back down to Ethereum and Bitcoin staying pretty level. The $300 premium you have to pay for Tether versus dollar is still there. That has not changed. Taking a look at Cardano, has had a pretty nice drive up here. This is a pretty deliberate step up that it's been doing. Trading a little bit lower at 11.89, going into the noon hour, which is normal. Should expect to see this kind of activity going into the afternoon, especially this time. Again, I don't think I've mentioned it enough, but if something's been driving up all morning, so all U.S. morning, I'm talking like from 7 a.m. Central Standard Time to lunch hour, 12 Central, 1 Eastern. If something's been driving up that whole time, I'm expecting a pullback, to happen after the lunch hour. That is just, you can look at any market, but cryptocurrencies especially have a big tendency to pull back during that time. So, basic attention token catching a little bit of a bid there. Still, I'm not willing to re-enter this quite yet. I've got resting buy orders above it, but we'll see what happens there. Nano caught a nice drive up. It broke this key resistance, folks. This downtrend line that Nano's been up against, it broke it. Right now, it's up against the 32.95 harmonic level, so we really need it to burst above that zone to go higher. But a little bit of a pullback from that level is totally normal. I think we'll break above it. I have some buy orders resting above. I want to get in lower on a pullback, but yeah. QTOM. I just put an alert out on that one. That one's just fine. Waves, not doing much. XLM, pretty nice drive up here. A little bit of selling pressure going on, profit taking. Totally fine, totally normal. Ripple has not really moved much at all. Ripple has been pretty much stuck here. We could say that there's we got this upper trend line moving. Wow, that is very red. All right, and we're just barely above it. We'll see if there's a breakdown lower or if we stay supportive and stay above it. We'll see. Zcash peeling a little bit off too. The whole market looks like it wants to pull back a little bit after the big drives up, which is totally normal, totally fine, and profit taking is just something you got to do. When do I usually take profit in the afternoon? It's really if I notice that the next that it's like within the last few minutes of the last 10 to 15 minutes of the 11 o'clock hour candlestick. If it's showing some decreased momentum and or selling pressure at the top, nearing the noon hour, I will take some profit. So that requires a lot of active trading and looking at it. That's just how I do it for cryptocurrencies, and then I look to get in later. Some people may say, well, why don't you just hang on to it? Well, because right now I have not been doing that a lot, but I have come back to do that now, because we're getting into more of a trading environment, hopefully. So, certainly if I see, the current candle like ZRX BTC pair, if I see this turn into a hammer the whole time and trade up a little bit at the close here, at the hourly close, I'll probably re-enter. And this is looking okay so far. Look at the volume here. We are 16 minutes into this hourly candlestick, and we are already we're already at like half of the volume of the prior hour. So, and that was lunch hour. So that makes sense. What I really want to see, and what we should all want to see, is get some profit taking going on in these altcoin markets, and then see Bitcoin and Ethereum catch a bid and watch those move higher. So we get this rotation of capital. We get the profit taking in the altcoin market, and then that has the inverse effect on our Bitcoin and Ethereum, where we see those ones trade up. All right, that is what I would much look forward to seeing, is that rotation of capital into an expanding market. That would be exciting. Oh, did basic attention token actually cut a little bit more of a bid there? See what you do. Wonder if it's going to drive higher. Oh, man, when that alert went off. Damn it. We'll see if it can. If it breaks this, then I'll look at it. But, So basic attention token is one that looks like it's going to be added to Coinbase next. Then that leaves Cardano and XLM as the next ones. So Cardano might be like one of the last ones. And Zcash, I still don't know if Zcash will be added. That might be the last one. Zcash is a privacy coin, but it has the ability to be transparent, to follow regulations and all that jazz. But Zcash has the ability to be totally, as near anonymous as you can get, whereas Monero is a total privacy transaction. Qtum might be moving a little higher. Actually, this afternoon we might actually see things continue to drive higher. This pullback may not last. I want to see what happens at the end of the hourly close here, though. I get more nervous taking profit. If I do this transaction history, I can't get Binance to pull up on the Brave browser for some reason. That's just weird. But I like to do trading on Binance and Kraken. I think Poloniex might get better too, but that is doing it all individually. Why is it doing that? Why didn't it do it by... Give me a moment. Where'd you go? Okay. More. Okay. There we go. So yeah, I had resting buy orders in Qtum that got tagged late this morning, a little higher than what I would have wanted it to. And in fact, I think this might have been a mistake. I don't know why those are resting up there, but Basic attention token, ZRX XLM. Did it? Oops, there. I meant to sell it into BTC. Cardano, ZEC Nano. All of those I took profit on in the right before the noon hour. And just waiting on them to pull back down and get in again. I have alerts set in Coinigy, so I can be, it'll tell me if something's happened. Like I want to get an alert here at 32.96. And yeah, it does that fun music, and then I want ZRX as well. If we get above 14. Alert there. And, ooh, what are we doing here? We driving up. Missed that game. Oh, man. ZRX. Look at these wicks. These are massive, massive wicks. It's just crazy. This is not really crazy. All right, let's go over. Let's identify some possible trade opportunities in a lot of these pairs. See some pullbacks or breaks of clear resistance that we need to pay attention to. Let's do that. And why don't we start off with Litecoin? So again, the top of the top left is the daily chart, the daily Ichimoku. The top right is the the top right is the 4-hour Ichimoku, and then the hourly is down below here. So looking at the hourly and everything here on Litecoin, yeah, Litecoin hasn't moved much either compared to everything else. Litecoin looking for a breakout on the hourly, where we have all the conditions met for going long, and a conservative entry is 54.36, which would be here on the 4-hour, and yeah, that'd be in a kind of a touchy zone there. I mean, we could do a long there, 54.36. Yeah, that wouldn't be so bad. At 52.36, that is 1-hour Ichimoku. Price and lagging span above 1-hour cloud. All right, and then we'll skip Ethereum. Cardano. Cardano daily looking pretty tasty. Hourly, 4-hour, we are probably looking at a little bit of a pullback here to the 4-hour, maybe back down to the conversion line or the baseline on the 4-hour. Same thing with the 1-hour, maybe a pullback down to the conversion and base here, 1160. Yeah, 1167 maybe, or 1147. Or zero. What am I looking at there? 1170, 1148. All right. Basic attention token. All right, so good example of how the lagging span treats everything else like price does as a resistance zone. Kind of a shared resistance area here. We have price is sitting below the top of the cloud, and the lagging span is stuck at the bottom of the cloud. So dual resistance area here, pretty difficult to cross above, but when it does, that should hold. Pretty thin cloud up here though. As good thing is every day we move on, we have a thinner cloud, so it's gonna be easier for price to break above. 4-hour chart. I mean, we see a clear breakout here. Probably looking at a pullback to 30.30. Conversion line pullback, and same thing for the hourly. You know, pullback to the baseline would not be, would probably be the most logical re-entry zone, or a break higher on the hourly. All right, so BAT, BTC. EOS. Not doing much of anything. It looks really... the frack is going on here? That is... IOTA. Ooh, IOTA's going to have a beautiful breakout on the hourly if we can get it. IOTA BTC at... Actually, this is the IOTA dollar pair. It's already got a breakout on the hourly. Yeah. What do we look like on that? Make this easier. All right, daily, it's really overdone. It actually is lagging pretty much everybody else. We break back above this high. You know what? We'll come back to it if there's not anything. Nano. Remember, Nano had a nice break above that resistance. It's in a falling triangle, falling wedge. Got stopped on the daily chart at the baseline resistance. Traded back down up, finding support on this angle here. Hourly, kind of the same thing going on. If we get a pullback down, I mean, we're really looking at 4-hour chart as it moves on. In the next 4 hours, we'll probably see the conversion line higher. We'll see the conversion line higher and the baseline higher. And as it moves on, they'll get close to the top of the cloud here. So this whole area will be a big support zone. So that would be the 3086, which is pretty close to the baseline here. Yeah, Nano is a 3086. That'd be a 1 hour Ichimoku pull back to the baseline, and 4 hour Ichimoku pull back to top of cloud. All right, QTOM. Just a big blast out of nowhere. That's a lot of volume. Big volume. 4-hour breakout. I mean, we could, if it pulls back down to, but I mean, entry at 6 is fine as well. Waves, let's not do waves. XLM. So stellar lumens, lagging span's got a pretty wide open area there. I don't know why I have the 200-day moving average on the daily chart, but it's there. So the daily got rejected at the baseline. The 4-hour, ooh, this is interesting. 4-hour is sitting right on the top of the cloud, just like right on top of it here. If we get a pullback, see if the lagging span pulls back down to the 25, 40, where's the Bitcoin pair though? That's the one I want. All right, that is a different picture. Yeah, we are a bit extended. A pullback to the base is probably warranted. We'll see if that. What's this? 35.76. This will depend if the lagging span, if the current 4-hour stays above that bottom of the cloud. Well, we could. I mean, the daily looks pretty tasty for a pretty close breakout trade. I mean, we'd see it more clear. I mean, that's lagging span. No, it's still inside price here. We need a pretty wide open area. I mean, the 4-hour is okay too. It's just like to see a pullback. I mean, if you notice when I'm going to do this is that you'll probably notice that the in the Ichimoku system, the baseline is really heavily correlated to the 50% retracement level. So that's why you often see strong bounces off of the baseline. But just going from this direction here, I'm thinking from this swing to this high here, we're looking at 50% levels right at the top of the cloud here at 35.40. I think that is a good point. That would be the 4-hour Ichimoku. All right. I think that is definitely. I mean, it's very extended. The hourly were extended. The 4-hour were extended. Yeah. Ripple. What does Ripple got going on? Absolutely nothing. Nope. Better things to trade. Zcash. That's the other one. ZEC BTC. Okay. Zcash. Okay, so we found support on this in the bottom of the cloud. Getting a little resistance as we got closer to the top of the cloud here. The hourly though is looking like a pretty good breakout pattern. However, we are looking pretty top heavy here on the hourly. Excuse me. We don't need that one. ZRX. ZRX daily pretty heavy up there. I mean 4 hour 1367. That's the hourly, sorry. 4 hour 1353. 1336 I think is a good zone for a re-entry. Ooh, got an alert. Nano fell below. It doesn't. Why does it default to the daily? That's annoying. Okay. All right. So now I know that that's going down there. I'm happy to see these things pulling back, because we want to get back in. Okay? Sell the tops, buy the bottoms, buy the pullbacks. All right, so ZRX, that 1337. Leet. All right, let's check out the others here. Somebody mentioned Ion yesterday. See, my voice sounds a lot better now too, doesn't it? It feels a lot better. Ion new. NPXS. What the hell is that? Oh God. Go away. Digibyte. Nope. TRX. We should look at TRX more actually. Pretty standard flagging pattern here. Fell below the conversion of the baseline. TK cross. 4 hour. 1 hour looks like a flagging pattern. So we'd have a pretty, easily identifiable breakout level on TRX BTC at 378. All right. ICX. It's pretty strong move there. I don't know a lot about Icon. Well, a little bit, but not a whole lot. The daily looks pretty saucy. The resistance, because lagging span is right near the bottom of the cloud. About the 4 hours showing a breakout. Hourly showing a breakout. Want to get a pullback down, but we'll find something else. DGD. Want the Bitcoin pair. Looking a little weak there. What's going on with our Ethereum? Oh, yeah. Afternoon selling pressure, guys. Take profits. Take profits. PPT. I was looking at this one right before we started the stream today. And PPT is looking like a good entry here pretty soon. I mean, it's still in this really, really long consolidation pattern. I am looking at to enter on a breakout pretty soon here, really 51, 56. That's the 1 hour Ichimoku. Price and lagging span. out of cloud. There's a breakout idea there. That's pretty much breakout here as well. BQX. I thought that caught a bit of a bid the other day. Yeah, it did. Okay. Staying inside the cloud though. 4 hour bounced right off that conversion line. Daily. Well, there is a breakout trade here. Yeah, we'll see. Walton chain. Struggling to get back above that. 4 hour could be. Now the lagging span is outside the cloud. That's generally a pretty good sign. But this is a pretty flat cloud. When you get flat levels in clouds, that means that they're very, very strong, especially if it's a thick cloud, which that is. All right, Ethereum. Let's just look at Ethereum, see what we've got going on. Yeah, I mean, Ethereum's got a breakout trade on the daily or on the hourly chart at $223, $224. That's what we're looking for. Bitcoin, want the Bitcoin dollar pair. The Coinbase pair. Bitcoin. I mean, this is like a mini market expansion phase. We had consolidation down here, distribution followed by a steep rise, and then we had distribution and panic followed by consolidation. So we should look to find another big drive up from this level, or it could drive down again. Who knows? Maybe it wants to try and get into the triangle again, capture some bears, but you know, breakout levels at 65.79 on the daily with the regular US dollar pair, not the tether pair. 65.75 would be the nice breakout area. The Bollinger Bands on this got to be pretty. Yeah, the Bollingers are pretty tight. Pretty tight Bollinger Bands. In fact, if we look at the Bollinger Bands on the daily, see kind of the same situation going here. False breakdown followed by a big drive up. We'll see if that keeps going there. We should get a pretty nice move though. So yeah, I mean, we've got some nice moves going on throughout the day, and we should definitely get some continued nice moves moving into tomorrow and Friday. Again, we are in that bullish season, folks, and a lot of this we're going to see a lot of this stuff happening, okay, in Bitcoin. Maybe not this drastic based on the tether thing, but we're going to see some spikes up, followed by some very swift sell-offs, followed by some consolidation, and then another spike. I mean, this is just going to keep going until we get into the FOMO era, where, you know, people in the grocery store are talking about Bitcoin and stuff again. So that's what we're looking forward to. These are exactly the levels that pros are going to be trading at, you know, where we're picking things up on the cheap, because there's a long ways to go yet for price action. And we should be looking forward to that, because there's going to be a lot of awesome trade opportunities. And yeah, so anyways, guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.